what goes on for the next couple of days, the value that we take away, it's not about the presentations, it's not about the presenters, it's not about the comfort of the seats, right? It's not about if the carpet's your favorite color or not. What's it about? It's about each of us, right? And the decision that we make of what we're going to get out. You guys all made sacrifice to get here. Every single one of you. In fact, give yourselves a round of applause for the sacrifice you made. So we want that sacrifice to be worth something, and not so much something like you're entertained, you had a good time, it was fun. No, we want it to be worth what you decide it will be worth, all right? So you guys should have a notepad and a pen that came in your pack that you got when you registered. Take it out. Get that pad, get that pen. And I want you guys to write down 3 things that you expect to get out of the next 2 days. Write down 3 things. Are you expecting to be educated? Are you expecting to be inspired? That's great. Are you expecting to learn more about trading? Write them down, guys, because you're going to get what you expect. You will find what you're looking for. So we need to go into the next 2 days with each person in here having total clarity about what would be valuable to you as you leave here.
We are also going to be doing raffles throughout, and we're going to do something that is very, very unique from this event. Who can tell me the one apparatus that almost every household has and most people worship on a daily basis? Can anybody name that? Television. That's right, it's your television. Now think back all the way to the very beginning in the 1950s when they became a household standard. They all came in what? Black and white. Tonight we are hosting a white party, and we are going to set the internet on fire with curiosity and challenge all of you for the rest of this event. Any social media posts that you do them in black and white. Get the world asking, why are you not posting like you normally do?
So with that, you guys, do we get everybody's buy-in on that? Let me hear something if you guys are bought in. All right, fantastic. So let me ask you guys one more question. How many of you are here because you want to build a phenomenal affiliate business? Let me see some hands going up. All right, so the first person we're going to bring up to the stage is your best friend, okay? Trust me, this is your best friend. If you've been around the affiliate marketing world, around the network marketing world, the person that we're going to bring to the stage is your best friend. Why? Because what he touches has to do with everything we do, okay? Has to do with our commissions, has to do with the customer experience, has to do with the back end, has to do with this entire platform, right? And that is none other than our chief. Bill? All right, perfect. All right, that was fun, right? We're using technology to make sure you can hear our voices. Look, we can't be stopped. How many of you guys know we're not going to be stopped? Come on. So with that, help me get out of your seats. Help me give a warm welcome to our Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Bill Wynne.
Bill, fix those mics.
Yeah, right? All right, thanks. All right, I wanted to start with some humor, and then I decided to scrap the first joke I had. But then I thought I'd try another one. So why did the computer sneeze?
Why?
Because it had a virus. Oh, I didn't think you were going to laugh at that, but I don't think I'll quit my day job. You know, security, that's what I wanted to really kick off. I told Sal when we were talking about it, I said, you know, Sal, all the passwords that I see that people use, we really need to secure people. For whatever reason, in the world that we're in today, people just are not taking it serious enough. How many of you have ever been hacked? Yeah. How many of you someone has attempted to hack you? Have you ever received an email? You know, We have photos of you from your computer and send Bitcoin right here and we'll delete the files. This is really serious in the world today. And I do, I see people say, hey, please reset my password. Okay, what would you like it? Password. Seriously? I mean, that's like the #1 password in the world. So anyways, what we really want to do is talk about security, and I want to go over some of the things that you need to be doing. Look, I've seen some of the money that people in this room are making. Incredible. Even in a month. You need to protect your assets because other people want them. And that's the reality. There's a lot of people out there that want a free lunch, and they're more than happy to take yours. More than happy. So let's go on here. Not sure which button to push on this. There we go. So you might be familiar with this. The things. The world is changing. When I first was using my telephone, you actually dialed it, and it spun like this. I am a little older, But then we got push button. Oh man, that is really cool. Look, it even makes sounds. And then it became mobile, and now you have the smartphone. Now this is really great, but the world is being connected through all of this. And so how many of you use your phone to control multiple things in your life? Thermostat, open your front door, lock your front door, start your car, all of these things. And this is great and it's convenient, but the problem is if you're connected to a network, someone else can connect to that network as well. And they can hack it. They can hack baby monitors, they can hack toys, they can hack anything that you have connected, they can. Now, and this is not just the internet. You could say, well, I'm just going to disconnect from the internet. No, if you have a Wi-Fi network in your home, that's an intranet. And so they could park outside your house and hack in. And they can hack video cameras and take advantage of a lot of things in your life. So, this is very, very important. I don't know if you know, but there's not only hackers out there on the dark side. I don't know if you know, but the government wants to be able to hack pretty much everything as well. Are you familiar with the name Edward Snowden? How many of you know Edward Snowden? He's now in Russia, had to get away because they wanted to throw the Espionage Act at him. This is very serious. And right now, the Justice Department is pushing Facebook, who now owns WhatsApp. They want to be able to act, they want WhatsApp or Facebook to create a back door because it's end-to-end encryption, and it's very secure. WhatsApp is quite secure. But they want to be able to have a vulnerability so the Justice Department can go in and read all these 1 billion messages a day and scan them for keywords. Now, granted, sure, there's illegal things going on, but does, the activities of a few mean that we should all give up our rights to privacy? No, it really doesn't. It makes sense, but the same people that say they're going to do something good with it can simply go bad with it as well. So you do want to take it very serious. Now, somebody in this auditorium right here today, you could be hacked by somebody. I want to use Russia. I will. My wife is from Belarus. The Russians, a Russian hacker can get into most home networks in 18 minutes. The reason why they don't is because you're not important enough. And they'd rather, go where there's lots of Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff. And so this is another thing. You want to be a little cautious about your high profile. Some of the money that I've seen being made, you want to be careful. You paint a big bullseye right on your shirt. And I have a close friend, his cell phone was hacked. His SIM card was hacked. And they went into his phone, they got all of his contacts, had access to his emails, got access to his cryptocurrency accounts. The only thing that protected him was two-factor authentication. And so this is really serious. So if you're not using 2FA, if you don't even know what I just said, you really need to Google it. And you really need to get on board, because from what I'm hearing from the affiliates and some of the people trading, it's amazing the kind of money that is being made, and what I really expect all of you to be able to do as you learn to be more conservative, as you learn to trade properly and develop yourself. So this is super, super important. So where's your vulnerabilities? What are you connected to? How many times do you use the word password or economy one or economy one exclamation mark? You know, I mean, these guys are smart, you know. So you really need to secure yourself. Anytime you see it, you need to be using it. So let's look at hacking. These are like some of the most common either vulnerabilities and ways to protect yourself. Email links. Do you know that if you hover over an email link in the lower left-hand corner of the browser window, you'll see the actual URL that's going to be opened? So if you get an email that says, you know, your PayPal account's been, you know, compromised, whatever their word is, if in the, you know, click now to log into your account, if you hover over that button in the email, you'll see the actual website that's going to open. This is very simple to do, and yet people don't do it. They click the button, they go to log in because they've crafted a login page that looks just like PayPal, and before you know it, the hacker receives an email, here's the PayPal credentials, they go in, they try to take your money. It's very simple. It's very basic, you know, and that's why it doesn't take a whole lot of intelligence to beat them. You just have to utilize what's in place. Downloads. You know, someone showed me here, when are we going to stop these guys that are hacking the trade ringer and making it available? Well, if anybody wants to download software from a hacker and install it on their MT4, maybe they deserve it. You know, if they steal $1,000, that's pretty cheap education right there. And so, you know, viruses are all over. There's like 74,000 viruses created every day by hackers. They are desperate to compromise. And then they make like millions of dollars. And then they just go buy an island, and that's all. So downloads, be very careful, and this includes images, JPEG files. They can actually have viruses embedded in them. You open up a picture, oh, look at that, look at the kids. But what they've done is they've actually executed a file into your registry files and compromised your computer. So be very careful. Just, you know, if you don't recognize a person, don't do it. Now, the other thing is, if you get an email from PayPal and you look in the email address says, you know, Frank from abgd.io, does PayPal use that domain to send stuff? No. These are very simple things that you can check quickly. Websites, HTTPS. Nowadays, it is common. If you go to a website that does not have this little lock in the left-hand side of the address bar, go away from it, really. It's just not worth the risk nowadays. This is standard. Google will even rank web pages that don't have the security lock down in the search results. Passwords. Get away from just lowercase and numbers. You got to get away from it. You need uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters, and at least 8 characters long. If you go to any of the websites where you see like a password strength indicator, this is what they're looking for. You need to do it. It's just so standard nowadays. And SIM cards. If you have an AT&T phone and your SIM card is not locked, the passcode to get into that is 1111. Your home network router. The network name and password is right on the router. I mean, someone could literally go into your house, simply take a photo of your network router, leave your house, you never know they're there, but they have access to your router. You've got to be very careful with all of these things. One-time passwords, you know, those like one code, SMS codes. Two-factor authentication. You have to use this. It is so secure. There are 2 things that hackers hate: two-factor authentication and encryption. This will block over 85% of their attempts to hack people. It's that dramatic. It's inconvenient, right? Oh man, I gotta have my phone, I gotta download this app, I have to look at it when I gotta log in. Yeah, see how inconvenient it is to lose $500,000 or $50,000, $5,000. Encryption. Of course, that's something you just want to look for when you're utilizing any kind of technology. And then physical authentication tokens. I went to town the other day, tried to get into my email. I couldn't because I didn't have this in my pocket. This is a physical device created by Google. It's called a Titan security lock. You have to have this with you or I have to have it to access my email. There's keys in here, encrypted keys, that my phone will read and get me into my email. So this is one more way to protect yourself, just like the ledger and other ways to store cryptocurrency to get off the internet. Remember, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and the hackers will find it, and they will exploit you if you give them the opportunity. So let's take a look at the new back office. We're more... We don't have real-time stuff because we're more interested in making sure the foundation is built right. We're not worried about the color of the paint on the walls right now and what kind of shingles we're using. But we have all this kind of security in place. You know, it's embarrassing, although it's not our responsibility, the company that's provided the current back office. It is embarrassing, and so we're going to great expense and putting a lot of time and effort to make it something that you will be extremely proud of. So first, we're using Cloudflare. You've probably seen Cloudflare pages when you try to access a website and it says, checking your browser. This will actually change the IP address of our site so hackers cannot just keep bombarding it with DDoS attacks, if you know what that is. SSL, of course, encrypted passwords. You're not going to be able to write anybody and say, hey, can you change my password to this? We don't know what your password is. It's encrypted. We can't even read your password. You will have to use a reset password button, and that email will be sent to you. And then you have to click a button and go back to a secure site to change it. You won't be able to change it, in your email or any of that. I mean, that is just such poor management. Transaction password, some of you may be familiar with this. It's a secondary password that will be required to do any kind of funds transfers. If you want to pay for something, if you want to create a gift code, if you want to do a funds withdrawal, you will have to use a secondary password. And this is standard practice now whenever it comes to financial transactions. We may or may not use one-time passwords. It's kind of irrelevant with everything we're putting in place. We will have two-factor authentication. We will give you the choice to turn it on or off. I suggest that you turn it on. We've turned it on for all the corporate emails. We've turned it on for the help desk employees. It's just no point in not using it. And credit cards. Someone asked me today, what about the credit cards? We're not going to store your credit cards. It's really illegal to store credit cards unless you have all kinds of protocols in place. We're not going to do it. It's a headache. Skrill, Uphold, the merchant, they have your credit card information. They're big, huge companies, and they deal with this kind of security. So you won't be able to say, hey, what's my credit card on file? I don't know. If you don't know, then we got a problem. But you'll be able to update your credit card, but it won't be something that we store on our server. We're not interested in taking that kind of risk with your information. And it's irresponsible to do that. It really is. So what I wanted to do is I really wanted to do more of a comparison between where we are and where we're going. Right now, we send out maybe 3 emails. You signed up, if you get it. Your payment failed, your payment succeeded. That's really about it, I believe. I sent out emails last night. I don't even think I got them. So I don't even know if it works. And I'm glad that we don't have any responsibility here. I could never do this or I'd be fired. But we've already written over 100 notifications that you'll receive. Your credit card's going to expire in 14 days. Your credit card's going to expire in 7 days. Your payment was declined. It's been 3 days since your payment was declined. Your grace period's almost up. Are you going to pay? Do you know what the software does? Come on, hurry up and update. So we're going to really hammer you with, even not just for you, but for your team. Hey, you have a member 5 levels down, their payment didn't go through. Now we're not going to give you their contact information, but if you're managing your team and you know who's doing stuff, you're going to know who they are and you're going to get in touch with them. So this is huge, right? To be able to manage your business, contact people, let them know what's happening in their own organization. We're also going to give you the ability to look at your organization's My Rank page. so that not only your My Rank page, but theirs, in case they're, some people are busy, right? They're working 40 hours a week. They don't have the financial freedom yet. You're going to say, hey, do you know that you're only one person away from the explosion pool bonus this week? We will send them a notification. You've sponsored 2 people this week. Just one more, you get a point in the explosion pool. Yeah, we're going to go all out. And remember, I love our corporate team. We're humble. We're smart, but we're humble. And if you have ideas, share them. We grow open source. Open source is the future. Bring your ideas. We'll filter them through, and we'll take care of things. Notification delivery. Right now, emails, if they work. We'll do email, SMS, database, meaning notifications in your back office. We're going to use the new mobile app, and we're also looking at implementing Telegram. So it's going to be hard to not hear from us. Lane stats. Everything will be real time. Now, we have some cool ideas coming from, I believe it was Ed Zimbardi and Ryan Dr. that we're going to implement some really cool stuff. And that's what I mean. Sometimes we're so busy looking at what we're doing that we don't have the opportunity to step away and see the whole picture. Well, you're in the trenches. You're doing stuff. You're running into the problems. It's your business. Tell us what you need, and we'll look at implementing it. My Rank. Personals. We're going to put information all over the place. Invoices, you'll be able to export and print professional-looking invoices that you can use for the IRS. You'll be able to make gift cards. This is huge. You'll be able to take Bitcoin, PayPal payments from somebody, send them a code. They can either upgrade inside the site with that code, or when they're going through the registration process and just enter a code, like a promo code. Lane stats. I think I mentioned lane stats already. I saw that I mentioned it twice, and I said, yeah, that's important. We're going to make sure you can contact your team, and we're looking at different ranks where we actually open up more and more contact information, expecting more and more responsibility. I know that's a sensitive topic, and we're going to be sensitive to that, but we did want to look at that. Holding tank. Right now it leaks, to be honest. But we're going to make sure it works. and we're going to make sure, now you're going to have 4 different ways for auto placement. So on day 10, if they're not auto placed, they will be auto placed. And I don't want to hear, hey, they were put in the wrong place. Hey, it's not my business. And somebody's actually suggested that we do a charge. We charge you. If you're not maintaining your business, you have to pay $50, $100 to have these changes done. We haven't been real serious with that because we're such kind-hearted people, but maybe it would make a point. And we take Bitcoin, so hey, it doesn't have to be cash. But so the auto placement, you have 4 different options. Put the person in the lane with the worst customer ratio. Put it in the lane with the lowest volume. Put it in the lane, just go left to right. So we're going to give you options how to build your business on autopilot if you're not paying attention. Of course, you've already looked at reporting. The company will have full control of the software, so there's no more getting harassed. Automation, you saw security. The registration process, how many of you like to log in and then try to find out what you're actually doing? The whole thing will be on the front end. Step 1, make sure you have your user ID or your sponsor's username. Number 2, you select your country. That's going to determine the payment options that you can utilize. Choose your products, enter your billing information, check out. Just what is normal in today's world. Technology, we found out that the software we're using is legacy, means it's old and doesn't work. But this is all cutting edge stuff. This is open source software, so we can take plugins that are being created by developers all around the world and just put more and more cool things into the back office. Mobile friendly, of course, and we'll have tutorial videos on all the pages. What does this do? Oh, look, there's a video. This is what it does. Languages, you've seen that we've put the website, I think it's in 16 languages. I just got Swedish last night. Yeah. The back office will be done quickly in all of those languages as well. You'll be even able to customize some of your user experience within the back office. Colors, some of these things. Change the left-hand menu if you want to. And then we're going to have an internal chat. Now, we're not sure quite where we're going with this yet because you have issues with people that don't want to play right and they like to send links to people that have nothing to do with their business. But we want to make sure that you can actually internal chat with people and bring them up to speed or whatever the case is. So it is really exciting, to be going through this. And as I've gone through this very carefully, we've seen lots of these missing links, and I think we're really going to do something. I honestly think that this is going to be something that's going to be probably the best back office out there. I really do. It may not be, It may not be, but we have full-time developers that will stay on for 4 months with us afterwards, going into phase 2 and phase 3 implementation of different technologies. So this is really going to be something to be proud of. And so here's a couple. These are pretty accurate, but they're not from the back office. But this is like your genealogy list, right? Being able to click down, expand it, see them. You'll have all of their stats, their ranks, their points for the month. When their last payment was processed. How about this? You try to figure out some of these lane stats, and you see when the last time they paid seed was, but you have no idea when they first paid seed. It's right. I mean, this is like basic information. It's like, how come that's not there? Can you put that there? Well, you guys are leaving us, so. All right. See how well you get advertising from me. And so in the genealogy tree, you'll have better stats right on the screen, and then you can hover over the button and get this window pop up to give you the information. Yeah. And then in the actions button, go to their My Rank, or all of these relevant tools to really kill it. Your personals, of course, you'll have all this good information right there that you need to run your business. And here's the My Rank page. Now, this was my rendition of it. We have the developers that will do it and the designers. But you can see the 3 legs across the top will tell your percentage, make things look pretty with green and red. Hopefully we get this progress bar through the ranks. You just see your progress bar across. Then your personal things and all of this information here to make sure you're on track to hit legendary type incomes. And that's it. Yeah. So I do invite you, if you have ideas, right? All of you have been out there, you've seen different back offices, you've seen different things. Sometimes you get one developer in some company that no one's ever heard of, but he came up with a really cool idea. And you happen to be an affiliate of that. Bring it and let us implement it and make it part of our economy existence. All right, thanks guys.